Hi everyone, welcome back to Relatively Refined, or welcome if you're new to the channel. My name is Paula. I have a packed video for you today. I am going to take you shopping with me at one of my favorite stores where I get so much inspiration. I've got a fun and easy little craft project to share with you, as well as a delicious fall treat. So let's get started. Well, today I'm taking you back to one of my favorite stores, which is the French Mercantile. It's located here in Summerville, South Carolina, and it is so beautiful. It has all European-inspired gifts and items, and the way that it is displayed and put together is just so visually stunning. I always get a tremendous amount of inspiration from the French Mercantile. Here's an overview. You can see just how beautiful the displays are. I thought these linens were gorgeous. And there are those beautiful velvet pumpkins. I have several of those pumpkins and they are stunning. And I have to say, I think those three that were there today at the store were the only three left in the store. So gorgeous. They have all kinds of things. They have those French butter bells and linens, cutting boards, just you name it. Absolutely beautiful. All things for the home, the kitchen. And I was just in love with this piece of furniture. It looks kind of like an old library card catalog maybe, or something from a hardware store. Just so pretty with that scrubbed pine and a little bit of the paint still left on it. I just thought it was stunning. And of course, who doesn't love a beautiful basket? They had a section that was all for charcuterie boards. So they had several different cookbooks on how to create a charcuterie board. And then they had these gorgeous big cutting boards that would make the perfect base for any kind of a charcuterie board. And my kids loved them. We used to call them snack trays when they were little, which was, I guess, the kid version of an adult charcuterie board. But they loved having all sorts of finger foods. And I still love to set up a snack tray for dinner some nights when I just don't feel like cooking. You could pour yourself a glass of wine and have a few little nibbles on one of those trays. I thought this basket was absolutely beautiful. I don't know what you would put in it, maybe onions or garlic. I just thought it was gorgeous. If I had a Pinterest pantry, I would get that basket and put it in, but I don't have a Pinterest pantry, sadly. And this is one of my favorite sections, the soap bar. All these beautiful handmade French soaps. And then I was absolutely taken in by these beautiful bleached pine cones. I had never seen anything like that, and I thought they were so beautiful. I'm sure you can probably hear Hazel whining. I don't know what she wants. She's been fed, she's been in, she's been out, but I don't know. She just wants to be heard. Come here, Hazel. And this book was gorgeous, this French home book. When I was there, a woman was buying this and some other little items for a gift basket. And I said, geez, I want to be the recipient of that gift basket. And there are those gorgeous pine cones again. I think they would look so beautiful in a bowl, out on a coffee table or something. Just so lovely. And these flowers, I think, are paper. They're absolutely gorgeous. Oh, and there's one more pumpkin. That's the small size, and it looks so pretty sitting on the stack of those books. And then if you've been watching the channel for a while, that I love tea and all things tea related. And this was a brand of tea called Oliver Pluff & Co. And it is made right here in Charleston. It's a Charleston-based company. And I thought the packaging was so pretty. They had lots and lots of different flavors. This blueberry one was really intriguing. And I smelled that sample and it smelled wonderful. And that tin of blueberry tea just may have come home with me. You'll have to wait till the end to see. And then those antique French, there were lids to different kinds of crockery pots. Beautiful. And now we're actually in a different store. This is called Cotton Down South, and it is equally as beautiful. And they have all kinds of high-end florals, and this bittersweet I thought was so pretty. That's Hazel chewing her bone now that you can hear. Oh goodness. Trudy made a vegetable beef soup today, and that's the marrow bone that Hazel has, and you can hear her chewing on that. Look at these cute bookends with those French bulldogs. I loved those. I thought they were so cute. And then that beautiful faux greenery, just lovely. The florals there really so high end. And then look at that mirror. How beautiful is that? I would love to bring something like that home. I did not look at the price, but it sure was gorgeous. And then, of course, I'm always a sucker for pottery. And you know what? Nothing is really work if you love what you're doing. In this shop, they also have lots of little love gifts, beautiful little gifts that would be perfect to give somebody as a hostess gift or birthday gift, Christmas. I loved these turkey place card holders for Thanksgiving. I thought they were so adorable. And these were interesting. They were, I think, maybe supposed to be apples. I wasn't sure. That little creamer with the bird on it, just precious. And I loved these quail. I thought those would really be cute on a bookshelf. And then one of my favorite items were those green ceramic trees. They look almost like, I thought they might have been painted oyster shells at first, but I believe that they were, clay, ceramic ones. Really gorgeous. I was tempted to bring one of those home. I thought they were so pretty, and it's one of those struggles where I wasn't really there to buy Christmas, but I was, thinking, well, if I don't get it, will they sell out? But in the end, I did not get one, but they are just beautiful. I love that little driftwood tree as well. It's so beachy. And then here's a close-up look at those trees. I think they are so gorgeous, and I just love that green color. Here's some more driftwood trees. Very southern. It would be so great in a beach house at Christmas time. And they had a little display of cherries. I thought maybe it was the summer stuff on sale. It didn't appear to be. But what I wanted to show you were these beeswax tapers. They are they're the flameless beeswax tapers. Now, if they had been in that traditional beeswax color, I would have considered them, but I wasn't really all that fond of the red. I love a traditional golden beeswax candle. And I just thought that room was so soothing and pretty. These pumpkins made from the ticking striped fabric were really cute. That looks like something that would be pretty easy to make, and I thought I may at some point maybe try my hand at making those. They had this cute little drink and snack station set up when you came into the store. They were selling that Southern style biscuit mix, so you could get a biscuit with the apple butter and then some apple cider. I loved this tell. Every pumpkin pie you bake, every bite you take, I'll be watching you. That is surely true of my dogs. This shop was just so pretty. And they had those oranges with the cloves in them. The clove-studded oranges were fake, but that is something I think I'm going to do this year for Christmas. When I was younger, I can remember making those, and the cloves would always pick your fingers when you were trying to push them into the oranges, but they always looked so pretty and smelled so good. So I think I may make a bowl full of clove-studded oranges this year to have out at Christmas time. A trip to the French Mercantile is always so inspiring. I always come away with lots of ideas for things that I want to do in my house, and whoever does their merchandising is just so talented, and everything always looks so beautiful and calm and relaxing in there. I just love it. Which brings me to something I wanted to talk to y'all about. One of the videos, I think it was my fall home tour. In that video, I shared some beautiful velvet pumpkins that I had, and those are actually from the French Mercantile. And a lot of people wrote in the comments and asked where could they find those pumpkins. And let me show you what they look like. They are absolutely beautiful. They come in a couple of different sizes. This is the extra large size in this beautiful champagne color. This is like a bronze color. And then this is a beautiful chocolate brown. And I got them because I am super picky about the stems on my faux pumpkins. I like them to be very realistic looking. And as you can see, this one is very, very realistic. And I think that just elevates them and just makes them look so much nicer and more high end. I think the sun is setting, so it's kind of weird lighting in here. Hopefully we'll hang on for this. But anyway, these were from the French Mercantile, and I went there today to look around, and there was one pumpkin left. So I was chatting with Patty about it, and she said, you know, what if we expanded our online shop to include some items that we really love that are not pre-loved or thrifted? And I was all on board. I was really excited about that idea. And these pumpkins are one of the items that we are thinking about carrying. Now, we are kind of slowly getting to the end of pumpkin season, but if we can get an order placed and get some of these in before, Thanksgiving and have them on the shop, let us know if this is something that you would be interested in purchasing. Hi, Hazel, I see you. Hold on one second. I'm going to go let Hazel outside and maybe draw the drapes a little bit because that sun is starting to come in and right here. Hold on, I'll be right. Okay, I am back and I've adjusted myself a little bit so that the light isn't just coming directly into my eyes. But anyway, so these pumpkins I think are one of the items that we want to carry in the online shop. And just like I said, drop a comment if you would be interested in these pumpkins. The other thing that people commented about in a recent video was the potpourri that Patty found at the big barn sale, and that video I'll link above as well. Now, she said it smells amazing, and we did some research to see if we could find out what it was or where it's made or if you can still get it, because so many people asked us, and it is no longer made anymore. But we did find an amazing kind of replacement for that, and it is this gorgeous handcrafted potpourri. It's a company, I'm not sure, made in Montana. It's absolutely beautiful, but it smells even more beautiful than it looks. And as I said, we really are thinking about expanding into some newer items that are carefully curated, things that we really love or things that remind us of Vermont or the Low Country here in South Carolina. Just, special items. We call them loves and luxuries from Charleston to Vermont is kind of our tagline for the new version of the shop. So this is something that we're going to be carrying in the shop. I don't know exactly when our order will come in, but I will definitely keep you updated. And we will have this And I think we're also going to be carrying something that I was inspired by when I went to the French Mercantile, and that is this Oliver Pluff & Co. tea. Now, this is made in Charleston. This is a Charleston company, and the tea is fantastic, and the packaging is just so beautiful. It would make such a great gift for a tea lover, and you all know that I am a tea lover. So we, I think, are going to be carrying some of this in our shop as well. It's very exciting. We are super excited about branching out and including some other brands. One of the brands that we're thinking about carrying is called, is by Chandler Four Corners, and they are beautiful little like latch hook rugs. I mean, like, I guess it's latch hook or hooked rugs and beautiful pillow covers, and they have Christmas stockings. Now, my sisters and I all have pillows from Chandler Four Corners, and we featured them in some of our home tours because it is a Vermont company. It's actually based out of Manchester, Vermont, right where my sister lives. So anyway, that is exciting news for us. We hope you're as excited as we are, and we will definitely keep you posted on when those items will be available in the shop. I will link the shop and our website in the description box, and I'll put the address right here on the screen. It's relativelyrefined.com. And that being said, let's get into the craft project, and that was inspired by my trip to the French Mercantile. I was very inspired by these beautiful bleached pine cones, and I thought maybe I could try my hand at making some myself. So for 99 cents at Goodwill, I found a bag of scented pine cones. I don't think it mattered that they were scented, and I thought, what the heck, I'm going to try to bleach them. So what I did was I filled a 5-gallon bucket with a bleach and water mixture. So first I added the water and the pine cones, and then to that, I added the bleach. Now, in retrospect, if I were to do this again, I probably would not dilute the bleach with the water. There's Hazel chewing her bone. She stopped until I started doing this again. I would just use straight up bleach. I think it would be more effective. So I poured the bleach into the water mixture with the pine cones and weighted them down. I put a plastic bucket over top of the pine cones and a weight on top of that to keep them submerged, and I left them in that for 24 hours. And then I took them outside and let them dry out in the sun for 2 days. And this is how they turned out. And I think they look beautiful. They open up. When you put them in the water and you first take them out of the water, they're all closed up. But as they dry out, they open up and you can see where they've been bleached on the inside, and they still have those little brown tips. I thought they turned out absolutely beautiful. So I decided to make a little craft project with them. I had seen on Pinterest a long time ago these pine cone Christmas ornaments, and I thought these bleached pine cones would make really beautiful ornaments. So I took some clear Elmer's glue. I would have preferred Mod Podge, but I didn't have any, so I just had this clear glue hanging around the house, and I painted it on the very tips of the pine cones. And then I realized it might be easier if I moved the glue tray in front of myself and continued to paint just the edges of the pine cones with the glue. And then once I had coated the edges of the pine cone with the glue, I sprinkled on some gold glitter. Just a little bit. Now, I didn't want to coat the entire pine cone with glitter. I just wanted a little bit on the tips of the pine cones. And I think it turned out very pretty. Now, as you know, glitter gets everywhere, so that's why I had it over that tray. Once I had the glitter on the pine cone, I wanted to make a little hanger for it to hang on the tree. So what I did was take some beautiful brown satin ribbon that I had. It's very narrow. It's probably only 1/4 of an inch in width. And I cut a length to use as the loop, and then I cut a length to make a bow. So I formed those, and then I used a hot glue gun to attach them to the pine cone. So here you can see I'm just putting a little dollop of hot glue on the base of the pine cone, and then I'm going to put the satin loop in there and just hold it there until the glue dries. And once the loop was dry, I made a bow out of the same satin ribbon, and just a simple shoelace bow like you would make if you were tying your shoelaces. And then I glued that to the base of the pine cone where the loop was attached to kind of cover up the hot glue. There's the little bow, and I will just put another dollop of hot glue at the base and then affix the bow to the base of the pine cone to make it look nice and neat. And there you have a pine cone, a bleached pine cone ornament. And here's one that I had made previously, and I love how it turned out. I think they're so pretty, and they were really easy to make and very fun. Here is a close-up look at the ornament with the glitter on the ends. Just very slight bit of glitter, not covered in glitter, because I don't like it to be too glittery. I just think I wanted it to sparkle, so when the lights of the Christmas tree hits it, it'll sparkle. And there's another look at it. And here is a close-up look at the bleached pine cones in a little compote bowl. I think they look so pretty. Very easy and very fun, and you could gather the pine cones from your yard. All right, let's wrap up this video by making some apple cider donuts, a classic fall treat. And they start, of course, with some apple cider. Now, I'm biased, but I personally think Vermont apple cider is the best apple cider. But for this recipe, which I will link in the description box, you need to reduce the cider, and that will concentrate the flavor. And I do think that that made a big difference. It gave the donuts much more cider flavor. That's my daughter Neve. She was testing the cider. She gave it the thumbs up. So here it is. You reduced it for about 10 to 15 minutes. It started out about a cup and a half, and you reduced it all the way down to about a half a cup of cider. And then it also called for apple pie spice, which I did not have, nor did my local Publix. So I made my own using ginger, cinnamon, nutmeg, allspice, and cardamom. So here you see me just mixing together the apple pie spice. It was primarily cinnamon with some of the other spices added in there, in about a teaspoon of each, and then maybe I think it was a quarter of a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of the cardamom and the nutmeg, which are the stronger spices. So there the ingredients were all added in together, and I stirred it all up and made my own homemade apple pie spice. And then, of course, it starts out with, I think it was 3 cups of flour, but again, I'll have the recipe linked down below. Some baking soda and baking powder. Some cinnamon, of course. It's strongly flavored with cinnamon, which I love. And then the apple pie spice. So you add all your dry ingredients together, and then once you've got all your dry ingredients in there, you give them a good stir and get them all mixed together, and then add your wet ingredients. So I added some melted butter and 1 egg at room temperature. This is an egg that one of my teacher friends gave me. She gave me a dozen eggs from her chicken, so that's a local egg. And then some brown sugar, white sugar, and some vanilla. I think it's a half a cup of brown sugar and a half a cup of white sugar. You know, I love apple cider donuts, and they just don't have them down here in the South. I don't know if there really aren't apple trees down here. I think it's too hot for apple trees. You have to go to the North Carolina mountains to pick apples, and I really miss fall in Vermont. That's the one time of year that I'm homesick for Vermont, is the fall. It's my favorite time of year. And I used to love going to the apple orchard and picking your apples, and they always had fresh, hot apple cider donuts, and I love them. Now these are baked and not fried, so I guess you could say they're a little bit healthier. Oh, Hazel, that dog is crazy. So there you see me adding the reduced apple cider to the mixture, and I'm going to incorporate all of the wet ingredients and just give that a good stir. I was feeling like I wanted to have some Vermont fall in my life, so that's why I decided to make these apple cider donuts. Now, I had found at the thrift store a while back a donut pan that you can use to bake donuts. So what I'm doing here is just adding the batter into a plastic Ziploc bag so that I can pipe it into the donut pan. And there you see the donut pan. And I put that in the oven and bake that for, I can't remember how long, maybe 20 minutes at 350. Now I'm going to make the cinnamon sugar topping that you're going to dip them in when they come out of the oven. So it's cinnamon, sugar, and then some of the apple pie spice. And I gave that a good stir and got that all mixed together. The next thing is to melt about 4 tablespoons of butter in a dish. And what you're going to do is you're going to take the donuts when they're still warm. You're going to let them cool a little bit on a rack, but while they're still warm, you're going to dip them in the butter, and then from the butter into the cinnamon sugar mixture and kind of coat them. And that's exactly what they do in Vermont. Only instead of dipping them in the butter, of course, they're coming out of the fryer, and then you put them in the cinnamon sugar, and they are so delicious. You can see that was Phoebe's paw. She was scratching at me. She could smell those apple cider donuts, and she was saying, listen, give me one of those. They smell really good. How are they, Neve? Delicious? Well, if you made it to the end of this video, I want to thank you so much for spending part of your day with me today. I hope you enjoyed the recipe, the craft, the shop with me, and stay tuned for more shop updates. You can check out our online shop at www.relativelyrefined.com. That'll be linked in the description box. And also, if you have not already subscribed to our channel and you enjoyed this video, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well as the notification bell. We are almost at 5,000 subscribers, and we're going to be doing a fun giveaway when we hit it, so stay tuned. Thanks again, everybody, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.